domestic violence, but I don't want to talk about the physical aspect of it. I want to talk about the mental aspect of it, because a lot of times I feel like when people hear of abuse in relationships, or they hear of domestic violence, the focus seemingly most times is on the physical abuse, right? And that's what we have a tendency to focus on a lot, is the physical abuse when it comes to domestic violence. But what I want to do today is I want to talk about the mental part of it, the emotional and mental abuse that people go through in relationships. Now, I've interviewed 2 people so far, and I have more interviews to come. But I've interviewed 2 people so far, and you can go back. Those are some of the earliest videos that are posted on my channel, where I talk to 2 women about domestic abuse and domestic violence in relationships. But what I want to talk about, and that was the physical aspect of it, and one person did experience, the lady that I interviewed did experience emotional and mental abuse as well. But the opposite side of the physical is, and sometimes I don't think that a lot of people realize that they're in that situation, or just how dangerous the other side of physical abuse is, the mental side of it is when you have someone that is causing you to feel like you're less than whole, basically, causing you to feel like you shouldn't be alive, or they tell you things that make you feel like you could only be happy if you're in their presence, or you could only be happy when they tell you that you could be happy. So I've had the opportunity to talk to quite a few women in the last several years who have experienced physical and mental and emotional type of abuse. And some of the stories, that I've heard is whether someone telling them that, you're fat and you're ugly, and the only reason why you are where you are is because, they got you to that point, or that no one is ever going to want you. What are you going to do without me? Without me, you're not going to be anything. You're not going to be anyone. There are times when they use these these people who commit this type of abuse are very clever, obviously in a bad way, but they're very clever in that they know what buttons to push and what to tell people. So they would know when they need to prop you up just a little bit to make you feel nice about yourself, and make you feel quote unquote whole, and make you feel a sense of happiness, or whatever the case is. But it's all false pretense. It's just a mechanism that they use to entrap you even more than you already entrapped. Because when I tell you today, right, today is Tuesday, and I tell you today that you look beautiful today, and I like the way you do this, and I like the way you do that, or whatever, and that is just meant to mess with your mind. Don't forget what they said yesterday or the day before yesterday. And so maybe for a day or two they'll do something like that, and then snap, out of the blue, they'll tell you, why are you so stupid? Why are you so stupid? And this is why I don't, do whatever with you. This is why I don't take you out, or this is why I don't do whatever the case is. It's because you're so stupid, right? You're just so stupid. No, this is the same person, and these are actual scenarios and situations that I'm telling you with people that I've talked to, and then after they tell you that, now this is the same person who just told you, maybe for the last 2 or 3 days, that you were beautiful, and that they like the way you take care of things, and they like the way you do things. And then 2 or 3 days after they tell you that, so it's completely just messing with your mind, and it leaves you in limbo, right? It really leaves you in a limbo, and it's meant to leave the victim, right, in a limbo. And when I say you, I'm talking about if any one of you are watching this and you've been in that similar situation, no, you're the you I'm talking about. But so what they do is they mess with the mind of the victim, right? Constantly putting them up, but constantly pulling them down. And so they prop them up just enough for that person to feel like they belong, like they have some type of self-esteem or whatever the case is, and then they yank them back down, right? And that's the mechanism, that's the tool that they use, that mental, kind of like a mental game, so to speak, that they use to be able to convince this person, that, you're good one day, the next day you're stupid the other day. So in so many, sometimes people say that the mental abuse is worse than the physical abuse. I mean, I'm not going to make a distinction on that. I think they're both terrible. I'm going to make a distinction on that. But I think one of the things to always take into consideration is the fact that abuse is wrong, right? It doesn't matter how it happens or whatever the case, it's just wrong. Now, I'm yet to have a guy or guys come to me and talk about being, in abusive situations, but I know it happens. And we all know that men go through that as well, but obviously men are not going to, a lot of times men are not as forthcoming with this because, we live in a society where men are supposed to be tough and strong and deal with a lot of stuff. So predominantly and really only the people that I've had conversations with regarding this specific topic is mostly women, basically all women, right? So that's kind of what I just wanted to highlight today, that abuse is not just physical, it's mental, and obviously then it becomes emotional, right? Where someone has undue, what I call undue, unnecessary, an unnecessary pressure or unnecessary influence on you and get you to, you don't even know. I mean, I've talked to people, they don't even know if they're beautiful, or they don't even know what, because they've been told so many things over and over and over again. So if you ever find yourself in that situation, or you know someone who's in that situation, the best thing to do and the healthiest thing to do is to encourage that person to walk away. Now, that's another story for another video, because it's also, my experiences, it's also not easy for people to walk away from abusive relationships and abusive situations. A lot of times they feel so trapped, and a lot of that goes back to the mental aspect of it as well. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. We focus so much on the physical. Let us not forget that there's mental and emotional abuse as well that exists, right? But if you know someone in that situation, encourage them to seek help. If you're in that situation, make sure you seek help as well, right? And don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification button so that you'll know when I post more videos. Please leave your comments, because I would love the interaction and I'll respond to your comments. Now, the channel is still young as of right now when this video is going to be posted, but I'm looking forward to growing the channel in the months and years to come. I'm honestly not just doing this just for a fly-by-night type of thing. This is a goal, and I'm on a journey right now to really see how I can create a platform that could help to change lives based on having people tell their stories. So I'll encourage you, if you have a story to tell as well, share your story. We'll figure out how we could do that or whatever the case is. But please subscribe, hit the notification button, and leave your comments. Follow me on my other forms of social media, and I'll see you next time. But never, never forget, and please always, always keep this in mind, that you always, always have a choice. Until next time.